Body cleaning has been finished, so now we will be doing the reverse process of putting everything back. Alright guys, welcome to my home garage. Today is the day finally. This bad boy has clocked 8,000 kilometers already. Going by the book, we are going to get it serviced now. We're not going on rides so frequently, so decided to get this done on this weekend. Today is 17th April. So just like the last video I have posted, I'm gonna take you through the list of things that I have gathered for this service. This thing is not a part of it, but it lives here, so it is gonna be here all the time. Basically, it's a 1995 Royal Enfield Machismo. This is a product that came out of the lockdown last year. It has been lying unattended for probably 2 to 3 years. But yeah, lockdown got me started and I made it into a bobber myself. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see the makeover of this bike. I have shot the video, but I never posted that on YouTube. Yep, so manual, very important. Laptop to access the service manual or check out on anything on the internet if needed. This is a lifesaver. In India, we need this. One of the most important part of service. So yep, thank you so much. A leaf blower, the oil drain pan, a tray, stool, drain pan for the radiator coolant, a sprayer, a container of diesel, front paddock stand, gotta be helpful at times. This box is related to the engine oil. This is a 3-liter engine oil. It's Motul 7100 10W40 MA2 API SN SMSL. So yeah, it qualifies. You can check out my old video for the first service for why I am using this oil. I'll be leaving the link in the description for that service video. The oil filter needs replacement this time. These 2 cans are the leftover engine oil from the last service in case if I need to top up. So I've got only 3 liters. Basically I will be needing more than 3 liters. So these 2 half filled bottles will do the work. Engine coolants. This is from Motul. It's a ready to use coolant. It is ethylene glycol based. So yeah, just as suggested in the manual, this will be right to use. Do not need to add any distilled water along with this. A container for brake bleeding and a hose to connect to the bleeding nipple. This is the .4 fluid for clutch and brake fluid replacement. This is some distilled water. This is going to be used for flushing the radiator. I'm not going to put it in the bike. It's just temporary thing. Paper napkins, very important. 1/2-inch torque wrench. This is new into my collection. I'm going to try using it this time. Stanley toolkit. My regular toolkit, water hose, some microfiber clothes, not sure but this might be helpful, and a bucket and a pressure washer. I am going to try washing the air filter this time. So it's a very controversial topic whether the air filter should be washed or not, but let me know in the comments what you guys think about washing the air filter. As you know, I always follow the manual. Let's go through the service chart. So on 8,000 kilometers, air cleaner as usual needs to be inspected. Okay, the engine oil needs to be replaced this time. Oil filter needs to be replaced as well. 2 years are already down since I got the bike, so I'm going to flush and replace the engine coolant. Other than that, yeah, the clutch fluid needs replacement. Gonna do that. Brake fluid needs to be replaced. So the front brake fluid is going to be replaced. I'm not going to replace the rear brake fluid due to some XYZ reasons. You will be able to know that in upcoming videos. Apart from the manual, I have listed down certain things that I think it should be done this time, since 2 years are already down. The first thing is I'm going to make sure that the frame sliders are nicely tight, intact, even within the bike. So there's a rod going through the bike that supports the either ends of the frame sliders. So we'll be just inspecting it and making sure that nothing's loose. Second thing is I'm going to open up this tank and going to get the access to the throttle bodies, because the throttle bodies needs to be inspected and cleaned. And yes, the spark plugs are going to be inspected. Next thing is the front sprocket. The front sprocket always remains unattended, so we have got no idea how much filth is accumulated over here. Basically, it is very complex to get access to the front sprocket, so I decided that this is the right time. I should open up the assemblies and make sure that front sprocket is doing right.
One eternity later.
Took me really long to get the right side cowling, the right side fairing of the bike. Really pissed for that design. I'm not sure why they have given such a complicated design. I'm like shit scared to break this thing while removing it. Not sure how I'm gonna put it all back together. The quality of oil that has come out of the bike this time is really filthy, completely black, and does not feel fresh at all. Alright, so the oil filter is on its place, fresh new one. Time to put back the oil, but before that we got to put our drain plug back. The tightening torque for the drain plug should be 23 Newton meter, so that is 16.5 foot-pounds. I finally have a torque wrench with me. Here we go. So this is the mark for 20. So before 20 I have turned anti-clock at 16, so here the vertical line is between 16 and 17, that is 16.5. The air filter is out and condition looks really bad. I'm not sure if this thing can be cleaned just by using some air pressure. Check that out. but still this is nowhere close to a healthy condition. So I will quickly get this thing washed with a pressure washer and keep it for drying. I think it should work, but I'm not sure yet. All the filth has literally come off, and now it's time to put it in sun. By the time the air filter is up for drying, we are going to remove the air filter box. This complete entire black thing is gonna come off so that we will get an access to the throttle bodies. In order to access the spark plugs, the ignition coils needs to be taken out. This white and blue thing that you can see, that is the ignition coil. Ignition coil is basically connected to these connectors. So I have taken the connectors off. But before taking these things off from the bike, make sure that you put up some number on them. I have mentioned 1, 2, 3, 4. It is very important that all these go back at the same port from which they have been taken out. These are for the 4 cylinders of the engine. So after disconnecting the connectors, these coils just need to be pulled out. The socket that I'm using to get the spark plugs off the engine does not have the rubber packing inside. So once I open up the spark plugs, it's getting very difficult for me to pull the spark plug out. If you are using a specialized tool for spark plugs, they generally have a rubber socket inside. There's a rubber part inside in which the spark plugs get stuck and you can pull them out immediately. But since it's not the case, what I'm going to do is I will be using the ignition coil number 3 for the third spark plug. So this thing has a rubber. So once I have unscrewed the spark plug inside, I'm going to push this inside a little bit just by feel and then take it off. That would be easy. Need to make sure that you don't damage the spark plug or the rubber part over here. Don't need to put a lot of pressure on that. Just do it by the feel. Got to align the spark plug right in the center. Here you go. I think I have got it. Pressed a little and got it out. spark plugs so far have been cleaned and they have been installed back. The ignition coils have been installed back on their places. The connectors are reconnected. Now it's time for cleaning the throttle bodies. Just going to use a cleaner and a brush to make sure that there is no filth inside. Throttle body cleaning has been finished, so now we will be doing the reverse process of putting everything back.